Hello, my friends. Do you believe that acceptance is the key to true happiness? Well, I might be able to change your mind after you watch this quick video. Hello, my friends, and welcome to This Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua, and I help others in sobriety ignite their purpose and create a life of awesome. Welcome, my friends, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I am truly blessed that you would take the time to watch my videos. Please, if you haven't yet done so, make sure to give this video a big old like and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. This just helps the algorithm spread the word of creating a life of awesome for others in sobriety all over the world. And, we all deserve a life of awesome. Also, please make sure to check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Here's the little link or whatever. There's tons more information over there to help you create that life of awesome that you desire and you deserve. So let me ask you, my friends, how many times have you been told that the key to happiness is acceptance? We have to accept the way things are. We have to accept the way things have been. We have to accept who we are right now. If you've been through any program of sobriety, then this is probably one of the key fundamentals that you learn about when you first begin. You have to accept the way that things have been. You have to accept your past for what it is. You have to accept, who you are now. And to an extent, that's absolutely true. There is nothing literally that we can do to change our past. It's in the past. We can't jump in a time machine and, go back and make things right. But why would we want to? Why would we want to change the past when all of those past mistakes, those past triumphs, and those past, times of shame and guilt have all led us up to the extraordinary people that we're becoming today? So do we have to accept the events that have happened? Absolutely. There's literally nothing we can do about it. But do we have to accept the way that we feel about it? Do we have to accept the guilt and the shame? I would argue that we don't. We don't have to accept carrying that guilt, that shame, that remorse, that, of the things that we've done. We actually can change our mindset and change the way that we view it into appreciating it as the positive that it is. Because through all of those indiscretions and through all of those, sins or not so good things that we've done, we've had the chance to grow and to become better people all for it. Now, a lot of people have the tendency to accept the way things are. So they accept their financial situation as, that's just how it is. They accept the relationships that they're not happy with because that's what they deserve. That's the part of acceptance that I want to challenge people to change. We do not have to accept that, we're living paycheck to paycheck. We do not have to accept that, we have to walk on eggshells around the people that we're in the company of because of the things that we've done in our past. We don't have to accept that, people can hold, our past transgressions over our head. We do not have to accept it. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, oh yeah, that's easier to say than it is to do. And you're right. You're right. Getting into action to overcome the acceptance that, you're broke, or the acceptance that, you allow people to walk all over you, takes some work. It takes some definite work. It takes some work up in the mind. It actually takes action steps in order to reclaim your independence, whether it be in finances or in relationships or in your health. It does take some work, but it is achievable. Recently, I was talking to a young guy who, he's at the beginning of his, I guess, professional journey right now. He's always been a laborer. He's worked in a number of different avenues, from electrical to yard care to, climbing poles for a living. And he's making a relatively decent wage for his skill set and for his age. But he has the belief that that's as good as it gets. And that was sad. And when he came to me with this, and he started asking me questions about, increasing his salary and making smart investments and things like that, and I started coaching him on, different things that he can do to improve his finances and improve his quality of life, then his mind actually started opening up to other possibilities. His acceptance level of being where he's at started to drop. And this can play into every aspect of your life. It doesn't matter what you're struggling with, what you think you need to accept. You can actually change that and create the life that you want in the various aspects of your life, whether it be in health or finances or relationships or wherever the case may be. Now, once we started working together, I sat down with him and, I started talking about, passive income and residual income, and using his skill sets to actually help other people, adding value to the marketplace, and being able to produce second and third incomes. His eyes kind of lit up. Suddenly, the need to accept the way things are changed completely. And it was such a cool experience to see kind of light bulbs going off in his head. And, it kind of struck me funny that he was so initially dead set on this is how it is, this is how it has to be, this is how my life is. And to see that transformation, to see that progress from being very narrow-minded, being very, one-directional, to being a little more open about possibilities, about being, able to think of the same situation in different ways. And his acceptance level started to drop. In fact, it started to change into being able to accept the possibilities of other opportunities, which was very cool. And you have the opportunity to do the exact same thing. You don't have to accept that you're living paycheck to paycheck if that's the case. You don't have to accept that, even though you might be financially stable, that, this is the end of the road. This is how, the rest of your life is going to be financially. Another instance happened most recently with a young woman who is having a bit of a difficult time with her relationship with her grandmother. She has lived with her grandmother for all of her life and is still currently living with her. because of past circumstances. And she's feeling very oppressed by that relationship. She's now 29 years old, and her grandmother is telling her when she needs to come home, what she needs to do, how she needs to move forward, and things like that. And yet, she has been accepting for years that she needs to be codependent on her grandmother in order to survive, in order to be happy, in order to achieve the things that she wants to do. She needs to follow the advice of her grandmother at all times. Well, that's just not the case. In fact, it will actually lead to the opposite. It will lead to feelings of resentment. It'll lead to feelings of entrapment, of isolation, of being oppressed. And she's finally starting to realize and start dropping that acceptance of, this is how it is. This is how it has to be. This is, how my life was formed. And is starting to open up her mind and starting to open up her values and starting to open up her own individuality and become, the person that she wants to become. And it's very, very exciting. There are certain things in this world that, we might have to accept. We can't change other people. That's something that we might have to accept. It's most certainly been proven during this last election. We were so divided, and no matter how many ads ran, no matter how many speeches were given, no matter how much you talked about your favorite candidate, you weren't able to really sway someone else to your way of thinking. It just didn't happen. And, that stands so true with not being able to change other people's actions, change other people's thought patterns. But what you don't have to accept is that is how you are, and you are not able to change or change your situation or change your thought pattern. You don't have to accept that. There's living proof all around us of people, acknowledging, the situation that they're in, but not accepting it, and making positive changes to live out the life that they want to live, creating a successful life in whatever capacity that means for them. For some people, money, it doesn't really matter. And that's okay. It doesn't need to matter to everyone. For other people, their health really isn't a top priority. It doesn't really matter to them. But they're able to create successful lives based on their set of values and what they deem to be important. And they do that by not accepting the status quo, not accepting what other people are telling them, or what telling them what they need to believe or what they need to do or what they need to accept. They're creating these lives because they're dropping that initial acceptance, and they're creating a new reality for themselves. Now, there are a number of different ways to do this. There are, courses out there. There are personal development coaches. There are a multitude of different ways to change your acceptance level and start creating the life that you want. Now, if you are interested in personal development coaching, I'm more than happy to offer my services. We can just click the link down below to schedule a free one-on-one strategy session. We'll see if we even work, if we're even compatible. And you can even do it on your own. It just might take a little longer, or a lot longer, depending on your mentality and how far down into the acceptance level you are. So, that is always an option. But I do hope that you got value out of this. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old like, a big old thumbs up, share it, feel free to share it, and comment down below. Where are you at in your acceptance level? You know, what do you believe is your lot in life and why you can't change it? You know, I would love to offer some recommendations or some help wherever I can. Anyway, my friends, I hope you again got value out of this. Until next time, cheers.